Hi, and welcome to another 2Unstoppable 21-day challenge. This month, we've got your total body challenge. So if you've been doing these challenges, you know a lot of these exercises, but I'm going to run through them all real quick, everything that's on that paper. Feel free to pause the video at any time, give them a try yourself, rewind, go back to it. This video will be there for you throughout the entire challenge. One thing I want to mention with the total body challenge is cardio is involved. So choose which cardio activity you enjoy, walking, running, jogging, up and down stairs, moving in any way that feels good to you and gets that heart rate up. You should be doing about 15 to 20 minutes of that each day of the challenge. And even if you felt like it on those rest days. So we'll get started with what's involved in the lower body on the challenge. And what that is some squats and some lunges. Your basic squat is loading the body weight into the heels, making sure your feet are pointing forward. Your knees, when you look down at them, they're sort of in line with your second toe. And you're going to press that body weight into the heels, toes are nice and loose, and just come on down in that basic squat as if you were going to be sitting down into a chair. Now, if you are not squatting as deep, not getting those legs 90 degrees parallel to the floor, no worries. Do your range of motion. Maybe this is your squat. Maybe you're coming nice and slow into that squat. Just do what you can. A Sumu Squat, another one that you'll see on that challenge, taking your legs nice and wide and coming on down. Think about a sumo wrestler as they're in their ready stance. That's where you want to be, having those legs wide, still body weight loaded into the heels and feet pointing forward. A Goblet Squat can be done with a weight in your hand, holding that weight, squatting down. Legs are a little wider than in the basic squat, just to accommodate for that weight coming down. And again, all of these are your range of motion. Small little movements work just fine. Squat with the arms out, either overhead or out to the side. So this helps engage that core, so you want to make sure that that belly button's drawn into the spine. Arms are here at the side as you squat down, or you can extend them up overhead as you squat down, still keeping that torso up nice and tall. Squat with overhead press. You could use a pillow, or here I have a nice soft light ball. You can also use a weight. So as you squat down, then you're going to press up overhead. Overhead isn't working for you, you're going to squat down and push out to the front. If you were using a dumbbell with that, you're holding the heads of the dumbbell, squatting down, pressing up overhead, or again, pressing out to the front. Those are the squats that you'll see on the challenge. Now we're going to get into the lunges that you'll see. Front back lunge. We're going to want to come to where we have space in the front and in the back, stepping forward on one leg, and then you're sending that leg right back again. Now, your lunge could be a nice big step forward and a nice big step backward. It could be a small bend in the knees, or you could take it somewhere in between, a little bit deeper if you like. That's a front back lunge. You'll notice that you'll perform that on each side, and it's a total count. So you'll be doing 20 of those, 10 on each side. Rear lunges. We're going to be stepping back towards the rear, bending in those legs. When you do these, you can feel free to reach forward. You can leave the hands at your side, or you can alternate those hands. And again, that lunge can be a big step back, bringing the feet back together. Can be a little bend in the knees, or you can go all the way down. Side lunges. We'll be standing with our feet together. Stepping out to the side, bending the knee, kicking those hips out to the side, stepping out on that other side as well, and moving those legs back together. That's the leg portion of the challenge. Now we're going to get into the arm portion. Bicep curls, standing nice and tall or seated in a chair. That palm is going to be facing forward, curling up. You may want to do this with 2 weights. For demonstration purposes, I'm using 1. If you'll notice, my elbow is towards the back of my body. I'm keeping it tucked back behind my hips. And you'll want to do the same. Standing up nice and tall, bringing that core in. A bicep concentration curl. You can do this seated, or you could do this from one knee. The key is seated or on the knees, digging that elbow into the inner thigh, bringing that weight towards your ankle, and curling up. All of these can, of course, be done without weights by squeezing through the fist and extending the fingers, squeezing through the fists. That's your concentration curl, and you'll want to do that on both sides. Tricep kickback. You can stagger that stance, hold that weight so that the elbow is at 90 degrees, and then you're using that elbow as your lever, shoulders staying nice and stable, keeping that neck and spine nice and long, kicking that weight back. A tricep extension. You could give this a try if you're tired of doing kickbacks or you want something else. You can do a single arm extension, bracing the arm with your other arm. So I have it in my left hand, the weight in my left hand, I've got my right hand here kicking back. You can also do a 2-arm extension, having both hands in the center of the weight, dipping that back behind you. You could do this seated as well. You can also do this from your knees. One that you'll see on here is a lot of fun, and it's a skull crusher. The skull crusher can be replaced by either the tricep kickback or the tricep extension that we just did. Skull crusher, you'll come down to the floor. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent, back is nice and flat. And you're bending those elbows to bring that weight right behind your head. It's a lot of fun. You'll have to control that weight, making sure it doesn't hit your head. And it can really work the back of the arm, working those triceps. As you can see, it's very similar to the extension. So then we're going to come on up and work through some of the other exercises we have. The upright row. I'll grab a second weight just for demonstration purposes, and any of these can be done with 1 or 2 weights, up to you. Bringing those weights right up under the chin. Rowing up is your upright row. That side raise or lateral raise, in the challenge it's listed as a side raise. You're going to bring those arms right out to the side, keeping those fists in line with the shoulders. You can, of course, do this single arm. Sometimes it's better for form, doing it with 1 arm. And then the front raise. Again, sometimes doing it one side at a time is very helpful, keeping that fist in line with the shoulder as you raise that weight out. Chest flies. We're going to bring those arms out and fly those weights out. This is done better with some lighter weights. If you have them, if you don't have lighter weights, you can certainly use cans of food. You can use water bottles. Any of those will suffice for those chest flies. Another one you'll see on there is called a rear Delt Fly, working the muscles in between the shoulder blades. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. Those palms are going to be facing your legs, and you're going to row up. And as you row up, those shoulder blades are coming together in the back. and that would be your rear Delt Fly. Reverse fly, again, hinging forward at the hips. This time the palms are facing each other and you're flying out. Sometimes done better with lighter weights. It depends on how strong you are feeling. Single arm rows is another one you'll see. We're going to stagger the stance for that, leaning on your leg. That weight is in the opposite side of what's forward. So my left leg is forward, the weight's in my right hand. And I'm going to row up to my armpit. And I would do the same thing on that other side for those single arm rows or SA rows. All right, we've got some fun challenges on there on that 21-day total body challenge sheet. Some punches with a march or a shuffle. So you're going to start punching forward and you can get a little bit of a boxer shuffle going, coming forward. You can march those feet as you punch. You have a 30-second march or a 1-minute march, 1-minute punches in there. So that's all that is. We're going to make sure that you're punching nice and strong, coming from the core and the shoulder, pushing across that lat muscle in the back. Push-ups. If you did our upper body challenge, you noticed that we had some push-up modification videos there. I'm going to show you some real quick ways to do push-ups that everybody can do. So on the wall is the first way to start. Stepping out a little bit away from the wall, bending through the elbows, turning the head so you can get a little bit of a deeper push-up. Making sure those hands are staying right in line with your shoulders. I'll come over here, perhaps you can see a little bit better. Again, pressing it out right here. Another option would be to use a shelf or a chair. Coming down, pressing through. Same thing, turning that head. You could use the chair as well. Coming hands into the center of the chair, coming down and pushing back up. Another way to do it would be from your knees, coming on down, getting on the bottom of the thigh, right above the kneecap. Hands are right under the shoulders and you're coming on down. Those are a couple modifications to the standard push-up for you. We also have planks again, so if you just finished the core challenge, you know all about how to modify those planks, but I'm going to show you again. You can start again on that wall, on the balls of your feet, angling your body back, pulling that core in, and holding for that plank. I'll come over to the side so you can see again. Holding that plank there. Again, you can step it down another level onto a counter or a sturdy shelf. You can angle your body a little bit more here. And again, you have that chair, nice sturdy chair. You may need to put it up against a wall if it's going to move at all. And then you have a plank from the knees. Very similar to that push-up. Hanging out here, holding that plank. Everything is engaged, core is tucked in. You can do a plank from your forearms. And then you can also do a high plank here. However you choose to plank, you can get it done. We have the bird dog with a knee to elbow crunch listed in this challenge. The bird dog, good yoga move, extending opposite arm, opposite leg. That's the normal bird dog. When you extend that opposite arm, opposite leg, before you put them down, what you're going to do here is bring that knee into the elbow and elbow to the knee. You could do this from a chair. Regular bird dog. And then bird dog dog with elbow to knee. Do you have to touch your knee? Nope. If you can, great. If you don't want to, that's all good too. Now something you'll notice is a burpee on this. Burpee, that word scares a lot of people, but again, there are a lot of modifications to that burpee. On the wall, you're gonna come back, step those legs back, step them in, reach up. Again, it's stepping back, stepping in, coming up. On the shelf, I can step back, step in, rise up on the balls of my feet if I like, or just come up and reach up. I could also use the shelf, it's very sturdy, jump back, jump in, and jump up if I was wanting to jump. The chair burpee, leaning into the center of that chair, coming back, stepping in, stepping up, or you could jump back, jump in, and jump up. Of course, that full burpee, down on the floor, you're gonna come on, bend through the knees, place the hands on the floor, jump back, jump in, and jump up. Option, come down, step out, in, and up. That's a burpee. Several ways to do it. I think you all can do it. We've got an inchworm. Inchworms also have several ways to do it. I'm going to show the first way. This is one of my favorite exercises. I love the inchworm. Feet stay planted. You're coming down the floor. You're going to walk those hands out to that plank position and walk them back out like an inchworm. They go out and then they come back up. Ways to do this. We'll go to the shelf first. You'll put your hands down, walk feet back, walk them in, one arm up, one arm up. Is it exactly the same? No, but it's a great modification. On the wall, you'll walk your hands up the wall, walk them back to the center, walk your legs out, walk them in, hands up the wall, legs back, legs in. Lots of good modifications there. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, coachstacyruns@gmail.com, and I look forward to finding out how you enjoy this latest challenge. See ya.